let's talk about writing equations in point-slope form. So the first thing is, what is point-slope form? So point-slope form is where you have y minus y1 equals m minus m times x minus x1. And this y1 and x1 are from a point. They'll give you an xy coordinate, an ordered pair, and that is going to be a point. And we know m is our slope. But then we have another x and another y. And these are going to stay as x and y. So in your formula, you're going to have y minus a number equals m, which is going to be a number, times x minus another number. So this gives one point and slope. And from there, you can graph it. You can find your point and then count your rise over run for your slope to find your next point. So let's look at an example where we have to write an equation in point-slope form that has the given point and slope. So I have the point 4, 5 and slope 1/3. So if I have 4, 5 as my point, this is x, y. X is first, always, and y is second. Then I put it into my formula up here. Y minus 5 equals m, my slope of 1/3, times x minus 4. So you just plug it in right there, and that is your answer. Let's look at another one. If I have the point -3, 9, and a slope of 2, plugging that into my formula, you have y minus my y of 9 equals 2 times x plus 3. So instead of minus a -3, the minus and negative turns into a plus. Then we have the points. If we just have 2 points and we don't have slope, we have to find the slope. So we use formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that equals 8/5. Then you just choose one point and you plug it into your formula and choose your slope. Make sure that your x and your y are from the same point. You cannot choose one y and one x. That's going to give you something completely different. It'll mean a different line. So plugging them in, we have y minus 4 equals 8/5 times x minus 2. Now let's see. If we have right in slope-intercept form, if we are given the point-slope form. So Y-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where b is my y-intercept. So if I am given point-slope form here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute my slope. 8/5 times x minus 2. So I distribute that, but I still need to get y by itself. So to do that, I'm going to add 4 to each side. And then that leaves y equals 8/5 x minus 16 over 5 plus 4. But this 4 has to have a common denominator of 5 so that I can add it to my negative 16 over 5. So multiply each denominator and numerator by 5 and reduce, and we get our answer of y equals 8/5 x plus 4/5. Let's do one more example. Let's say you go on a hot air balloon ride. After 2 minutes, you are 100 feet above the ground. You then continue to rise at a rate of 20 feet per minute. What is your height after being in the balloon for 10 minutes? So, we have some important numbers here. 2 minutes, 100 feet, 20 feet per minute, and 10 minutes. So, I'm going to use my point-slope form, and plugging in 100 feet, which is going to be my height, my y, it gives me a rate, and a rate is always going to be your slope. A rate says how much something is changing, and a slope is how much your rise is changing for your run. And then we have my x is going to be 10 minutes, because it says when you are in there for 10 minutes, but my point that goes with 100 is 2. Then after we can simplify the parentheses. So we have y minus 100 equals 20 times 8. Then we are going to simplify this right side. 20 times 8 is 160. To get y by itself, you add 100 to each side, and y equals 260.